are seashores and there are seashores, and certainly the high rocky ones, where the full force of the Pacific pounds the Big Sur country, or where the Atlantic assaults the coast of Maine. Certainly these are the more dramatic. But it is in the quieter, calmer bays and lagoons, such as we have along the Texas coast of the Gulf of Mexico, that one finds links in the chain of life that lead us back millions of years to our beginning. None of this life would have been possible, or at least it would not have taken the myriad forms it has, if the sea had not insinuated itself subtly into the lower edges of the land, to blend in the estuaries with the weary rivers, thus creating nurseries for the spawning of marine life, as well as providing a calm enough environment for many of the creatures to adapt to living on the land. The evolution of plants and animals and insects, and their shifting from one environment to another, from water and air and land, is an ongoing cycle and necessary for the continuance of life. Each generation of oysters adds its bodies to the collective body of the reef, that all may grow and prosper in the warm waves. From the first brave oyster, who attached significance to some irregularity on the sea bottom, through all its great lineage, each has given its shell to the reef. Between shells, in tiny caves and canyons, dwell the richly varied phantom shapes of life at play, exploring the consciousness of the reef, retaining within the living body of life the ancient memories of our origins, building stepping stones for others. These little beach birds are agile examples. Once reptilians of the sea, they opted for air and grew wings, then legs for landing, and now, making the best of the three possible worlds, they have grown longer legs for wading and a matching beak to spear fish. Below the bays and estuaries, at the shore where the last of the land meets the first of the sea, life is more violent. The shifting sands in the incessant surf and the ebb and flow of the tides make the beach a battlefield rather than a sanctuary, and only the toughest and most ingenious plants and animals survive. Difficult as it is, life persists passionately here. The most unforgettable beach bum is a tiny worm called the convoluta. It feeds on an even tinier plant which grows in its body, and in order to keep its gastric guest alive and flourishing, the convoluta must crawl from its burrow and lie in the sun. The worm has learned to time its sun baths with the tides. Twice each day, when the tide is out, it hustles to catch the sun. And twice each day, by some uncanny radar, it sinks back into the sand to avoid the oncoming tide. In this strangely parasitic, yet mutually beneficial relationship between the worm and the plant, and their dance between the sun and the surf, we see how intricately balanced are the mechanisms of nature. The mortality rate is high. The beach is literally a boneyard. The sand, the shell, the sediment, it is all the remains, the fossil of countless creatures which have lived and died in the sea since the oceans were formed. Every destruction is compensated with a resurrection and renewal. The sea sends up its waves to diminish the beach, to pull the continent, pebble by pebble, back into the deep. And yet the very stuff of the erosions is pushed back up into sandbars and islands. In the shifting dunes, sea oats spring up as earthly anchors, and across the sand come railroad vines to lay another, if timorous, network of terrestrial life. It is a beginning, much like that very first beginning when the world was new.